You're listening to Systemic Era Podcast. The failure was designed.
Oval Office crammed with new gold bling as Trump's Krazy glue tube goes viral, based on an article by David Edwards. The gold leaf presidency. The point is the performance. Trump's Oval Office is becoming a props department for one man's vanity. The reporting here is simple enough. He has kept adding gold cherubs, gilded mirrors, eagle statues, and decorative seals to the room, and according to a new book, he has even been caught personally gluing gilded appliqués onto the mantel. The source material treats this like a spectacle. It is also an admission. This is not just taste. It is a theory of power. Trump is turning the most symbolically loaded room in the country into a set designed to flatter him, not a workplace that reflects public authority. The message is blunt. The office exists to stage his dominance. Who actually has power? The people who matter here are not the decorators and not the critics calling the room gaudy or overwhelming. The real actor is the president, who controls the space, the agenda, and the symbolism. He is the one making the aesthetic decisions. He is the one authorizing the transformation. He is the one who, by the report's own account, personally applied glue to gilded trim. That matters because it exposes a familiar conservative lie. The idea that power can be abstracted away from the person exercising it. Trump is not being shaped by some uncontrollable atmosphere of excess. He is producing it. He is not merely surrounded by ornament. He is the source of it. The misdirection. The article gives us a neat little detour through design commentary, as if the central issue were whether the room has become tacky. That is the softest possible framing. The real issue is not whether the gold is tasteful. The issue is that the President of the United States is aggressively remaking the symbolic center of democratic authority into a shrine to himself. Even the White House's own visual language is being captured by this logic. The room that once had to project institutional seriousness now has to carry Trump's brand. The gold is not decoration, it is misdirection through excess. Flood the room with status signals, and you can bury the more dangerous story about who is asserting control and how. Autocracy in interior design. This is how authoritarian aesthetics work. They do not just decorate power, they naturalize it. They substitute spectacle for legitimacy. They make domination look like refinement, and insecurity look like grandeur. Trump's insistence that the addition to 24-karat gold only sharpens the point. In this telling, reality itself has to submit to his preference for magnificence, whether the material is real gold or a $1.58 polyurethane copy from Home Depot. That detail is revealing because it collapses the distinction between substance and imitation, which is exactly how propaganda functions. The gold only has to look expensive. It only has to feel imperial. The point is not truth. The point is aura. What the room says about the regime. The Oval Office has always carried authority without needing to be stuffed full of objects. That is what the reporting gets right from Robin Jivhin's observation. The room's legitimacy came from democracy, not from ornament. Trump's project reverses the logic. He treats democratic authority as a weak frame that must be strengthened by personal spectacle. That is the larger pattern. The more fragile the political order becomes, the more authoritarian leaders reach for symbols of permanence, wealth, and personal rule. They do not build legitimacy. They costume it. They do not persuade. They overwhelm. The real story. So yes, the gold is ridiculous. That is almost beside the point. The serious fact is that our president is using the White House the way a failed strongman uses a palace, to convert public office into personal theater and democratic authority into background scenery. That is the systemic error on display here. When political power starts treating the state as an extension of one man's aesthetic appetite, the corruption is not cosmetic. The cosmetic is the corruption. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Ross Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Liberts. Thanks for listening.